start the recording? Okay, fine. So what we have learned till now, we understood what is cloud in general. Then we understood what is a data lake, what is the difference between a data lake and a blob storage. Very important from the interview, so please remember it. Then we understood what is data factory, what is link service, integration runtime. Again, very important from the interview, integration runtime, link service. Then we understood what is copy data activity, how to use copy data activity, list of file, wildcard, mapping. All of that we have understood, and I guess Satya, you need to cover up those things which I have covered already. And then we made SQL Server, we whitelisted IP, understood how to whitelist IP, and then we also understood how to move the data in the SQL Server. We understood what is a pre-copy script, what is auto create table option, what is absurd option, and all of those things we understood, right? Now, if anybody,
Abhishek,
yeah, yes.
sorry, I'm interrupting you. I would like to know, I didn't get you,
Hmm.
how we can create dynamically the table in MySQL server with the help of ADF?
Auto create table option, right? We want, so suppose if dynamically create the table option means if you have the file in data lake, for that you want to create table, right? That is what you want to do.
Yes, without interacting into the database,
Yeah.
based on the name of the file, it should be. Is there any chance to create the table and the fields as well in the database? And
So we have seen that, right, Venkat? In the last class, one second. In the last class, have I covered absurd, auto create table option? Those things I have covered or no?
upset, I'm very comfortable, but
No,
the
no, no. I
creation
am
of the
just asking. I don't remember that in the last class, have we covered auto create table option, pre-copy script, all of those things we have covered or we haven't covered?
Upset is covered.
Hmm.
yes,
And
agreed.
auto create table option also we have covered, right? I have shown you auto create table option, I guess, because that is the
Yes.
first option which I show whenever I start teaching this.
Yeah.
Okay, so by using auto create table option, you can do that, right, Venkat?
Okay, I will recheck it again. If not, I will come back with you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so suppose if you have a table in data lake, so you don't need to create a schema, it will automatically create a schema for you and then it will move the data for you.
Yeah, we have done.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So we have done it. You probably need to check the video again. Okay. So yeah, so let's move forward. So what we will do today, we will understand Key Vault and we will understand how to use Key Vault and how to integrate Key Vault with Data Factory. Before doing that, let's first understand why Key Vault is important and why we are learning about it. Let's understand that first. So I'm trying to open Paint to elaborate that. And so suppose we created a SQL server in the last class. And also guys, I am using a mobile network today. So my voice or some time if there is any internet issue, please tell me so that I can switch my connection or we can do something about it. So just let me know whenever you feel that my voice is not clear. Okay. So yeah, so suppose we created a SQL server and SQL database inside the SQL server. And this SQL server has a username, suppose cloud, and password. Password is suppose SQL pool 1234. Now we made a link service of the SQL server. We made a link service of the SQL server. And then we tried to use the SQL in the ADF. And in the SQL Server link service, we mentioned the ID and password of the SQL Server manually, right? That is what we have made and we have passed it. Now, suppose if I make another link service of the SQL Server in some other ADF, for example, right? So I again need to mention ID and password of the SQL Server. Now, if I want to integrate this SQL Server in Databricks or somewhere in the code, then I need to again do it. And if I want to mention this SQL server, I want to interact with this SQL server with somewhere else. If I want to interact with this SQL server somewhere else, suppose I want to interact with SQL server like in XY, like what I want to say, suppose here I am trying to interact with ADF, here I am trying to interact with Databricks, here I am trying to interact with my on-premise server, Python or anything of that sort. Basically, whenever I am trying to interact with this SQL server, I basically need to pass the username and password. Without that, I cannot interact. That is basically very simple, right? So I need to basically pass a username and password to interact with the SQL server. That is the basic requirement. Now, the problem with this requirement is you need to mention this ID and password, first of all, everywhere manually, which is not a good practice, because manually entering a password of a server, of a SQL server, is not a good practice, right? Then second of all, if this password is getting updated, so suppose one year has been passed, and then after 1 year we need to basically update the password, and someone came here who is from the admin department, and he said that the password shouldn't be 1234, it should be 12345. Now the admin basically changed it. So everywhere, wherever the admin has passed 1234 has become 12345, right? So all the connection will automatically disabled, or it will not able to interact. Why? Because the password got changed, right? So everywhere the particular server won't be able to interact with the SQL server. Why? Because the password got changed. And suppose admin informed developer that hey man, password got changed, you try to update it everywhere. Now in a big organization, developer also are not aware how many times or wherever they are basically calling this password. Okay, so it is very like a bad practice to manually enter the password. Nobody does that, first of all. And also at the same time, it's not a good practice to basically directly calling the password somewhere, right? So it's not a good practice. So this problem will be solved by key vault. If we use key vault, okay, this all the problem will be solved. So what we will do, we will basically make a key vault. And what we will do here, we will suppose this key vault name is KV 24, for example, right? And in KV 24, we will basically write this password in KV 24. So in the KV 24, we will mention that username is cloud. So this will hold the password. Okay, so I will mention username is cloud and password is this. Now in over, like anywhere, if I want to call this password or SQL ID and password, I will call KV 24 only. Here I will call KV 24. Here also I will call KV 24. Here also I will call KV 24. I will call KV 24 everywhere. Okay, that is what I will do. Now what will happen? ADF, if ADF needs the password, ADF will go to KV 24 and then ask, hey man, can you give the SQL ID and password? Then he will give him the SQL ID and password. And then accordingly, the ADF will reach out to SQL Server and try to interact with this. So this ADF will first reach out to Key Vault, get the password. KV24 will basically give the password, and then ADF will go to this particular SQL to basically access it. Now, if password got updated, then admin needs to come here in the KV24 and basically update this SQL pool 12342 SQL pool 12345. That is what admin needs to do. And after that, it is automatically getting updated everywhere. Okay, so we are not basically worried about how many times or wherever we have used the SQL ID and password. At the same time, we are not entering the ID and password, and also we are providing extra layer of security to basically uh, store our keys. Okay, so uh, everybody doesn't aware about what is the key and where it is being stored. Okay, so basically KV24 knows about it. KV24 is basically maintaining it, and everywhere wherever we need it, we are basically reaching out to KV24, and KV24 is only giving us the password. That is why key vault is necessary. And now what we will do, we will store our password in KV24, which is key vault. We will store the key vault, and we will try to call this key vault in our ADF link service. But it's like not only for ADF link service. Wherever in Azure, if you are trying to call any sensitive access keys or anything, it is a very best practice to store that access keys in the key vault instead of manually entering it. So please practice it going forward. So if you're working on Databricks, if you're working on anything in the Azure cloud, the key vault is a place to store your credential, and then accordingly call the ID and password in your code. Sometimes I have seen in few companies that they don't follow that practice. So you just like, we need to improve that. We need to mention that it's a best practice to follow, and try to implement these practices. Okay. Now, if you have any questions with respect to this, please ask me now, or else we will move forward. We will create a key vault. I will try to mention ID and password over there, and then accordingly, we will do other things. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please let me know now.
So Abhishek, let's say if password get updated, we need to make the changes in the keyword. We need to update the same password again in the keyword.
Yeah, so suppose you have said that my password is SQL pool one, not SQL pool 1234. My
Yes.
password is SQL pool 12345.
Yes.
Then in ADF, there is an option to choose the latest password. So instead of calling this password, you can just say that I want to call latest password. So whenever you're updating the password, in ADF will not get the connection error. Automatically, it will take the latest password because you have an option for it already.
Okay, got it.
So is the keyword is applicable for all the Azure? Data Factory, Databricks, Synopsys, everything, or is it particular to
No,
some
it's
products?
applicable for everything.
For everything.
So it's a basically a resource just to store your credential, and the integration of keyword is possible with everything.
Everything.
The method will be different, but integration is possible with everything.
Okay.
So in ADF, we understood that if we want to access any resource, we will reach out to, first we'll think about integration runtime, then we'll think about link service. In ADF, it's very standard. So for data key vault as well, we'll follow the same practice. We will first create a integration runtime, which is auto resolve integration runtime. Why? Because key vault is a resource present in cloud. And then we'll create a link service. For ADF, it's pretty common. If you want to reach out to anything, you first need to create a link service for that by using integration runtime, if it is cloud or on premise, as you want to. Yeah. Any other question, guys? Okay, fine. Yes. Yes.
For on-premise, we need integration runtime. How about in the cloud? Like, how will it work? Like, we're already doing that in the cloud, right? In the portal.
Sorry, I haven't got your question.
I mean, the key vault, to create the key vault, we are creating the key vault in the portal.
Cloud.
That is in the cloud. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So to change the password, something we use on-premise, or I mean, I didn't get the last point, Abhishek.
So suppose this is a on-premise service, right? For example, right? This is cloud. I have taken example of cloud, but suppose this is on-premise. Then what you have done, you basically the password got updated. So you came here and you updated the password in the SQL pool only, right? SQL pool 12345.
Okay.
So you will, whenever your password is getting updated on the SQL server, you are coming and telling that password in the key vault. This is a cloud key vault, right? So it's stored in the cloud. So now whenever, like now if you want to use the password again, you will reach out to key vault to basically fetch just the example. For example, if if you have an application in your computer, right? Suppose if you have an application, this SAP logon is your application, which is present in your computer. Okay. Now what you have done, this SAP logon password you stored in the cloud, right? Now you are trying to, if you are trying to log in this SAP logon with any application, okay, so that application needs to reach out not to SAP logon directly. It will reach out to Key Vault. It will get the password from the Key Vault and then it will log it to SAP logon. That's the process. That's all. Have I answered your question or am I making you confused?
Yeah, for that we install integration runtime in our system wherever the
No, see,
on-premise software is.
the things are very simple. We are just making it complicated. So suppose this is the service and this is the service. Now this service wants to reach out to this. To reach out to this, it needs the ID and password, right? That is very simple. Now, what this service is doing, this service is first reaching out to Key Vault for the ID and password. And then after getting the ID and password from the Key Vault, it's reaching out to this particular service. Is it
Okay.
clear?
The end,
Yeah,
the
it
end
is clear.
Hmm.
So my question is like, where does
So,
this integration
Abhishek,
runtime comes?
Yeah. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, Abhishek. Like,
Hmm.
so while using the keyword, so
Hmm.
I guess he's asking whether do we need to look at integration runtime? If yes, which integration runtime do we need to look into?
Okay,
So
okay.
that is
So
what he's
we
asking.
need to use auto resolve integration runtime for it because it is stored in the cloud. The Key Vault is a cloud service, so we need to use auto resolve integration runtime. The question is your question is answered or you are asking something else, Siva?
No, it's answered now. Yeah, I got
Okay,
that.
sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I haven't understood your question properly. Okay, fine. So thank you for helping me, Adi. Okay. So sometimes it will happen that I am not able to make sense out of the question sometimes, and others can. So please jump and then try to elaborate me so that I can answer it. Okay, fine. So let's move forward. We will first try to do this. So first, to store the password, we need to basically go to the Key Vault and we will open this Key Vault. Let me check, like, because I'm using someone else's computer, sometimes in the Key Vault it gives the problem. So I will try to understand if I have permissions for it first. Yeah, so this ADF has a permission. And which keyword we are using here? KPI. Yeah, this keyword. Okay, fine. So what we need to do, first of all, we need to basically do this, right? So first of all, we need to basically create the key vault to do that. Okay, so I am creating a key vault, and in the key vault, yeah, so I will hit create. I will mention my resource group, subscription resource group, and then key vault name. My region, Central India. Everything is by default. I'm not changing anything. This particular setting we need to change. So this is not role-based access management. I want to give to like access to resource manager, disk manager, and everything. That is what I want to do. Then let's go forward. So here I need to change to vault access policy, and then I need to click all of the resources. Here we need to make the change. And yes.
Abhishek, can you go to the previous step once? What does these resource accesses? What does these three do? What are the what are these for?
When you choose this particular option, so suppose if I create a key in the key vault, it will be accessed by data factory. You don't need to give the keys access separately to data factory. If you just come here, and then give the access only to data factory, your keys will be directly accessed. This key which you create over here, it will be directly accessed. Okay. Once you just give the access to data factory, but if you used role-based access management, then you need to separately give the keys access as well, secrets access as well. Yes.
Depending upon the person.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, but my question was, can you go back to the screen again?
Okay, 1 second.
See, there are three different things you are selecting, right, while creating the key. What is the use of each option?
1 second.
Now, see, Azure virtual machine for development, Azure resource management for template. These three options you are selecting, right? Resource accesses.
Yes.
So what is the difference between each of them?
This is for us only this is required, but for now I'm clicking all of that because Azure resource manager is what we are using, but
What
this
we
is
are
for
using.
for this is Azure virtual machine. This is for Azure disk encryption, for volume encryption. This I'm not aware because I haven't used this in the past, but for us this Azure resource manager is what is required.
Abhishek, can you go to that circle at the last? Here, at the bottom of it. Yeah, you just put your mouse pointer on that.
Like information is there, right?
It specifies whether Azure virtual machines are permitted, because we are not using virtual machine. So yeah, so it's fine. And then specify whether Azure disk encryption is permitted to retrieve the secrets from the vault. And yeah, this also we are not using. If I hover over this, specify whether Azure resource manager is permitted. So resource manager is what is being used when you deploy your key vault in like when you create your keys. So this is what we use. So we need to enable this, but I'm enabling all of that just to not make things more like
Complex.
yeah, complex. Yes.
In real time scenario, are we creating the key vault and keeping it, or somebody else will?
Somebody else will create it for you.
Data engineer
Not data engineer. Admin person will create the key vault for you, who will do the whole infrastructure setup. So yeah, so they study about access role management, IAM, what is different roles are assigned, all of those things. Data engineer doesn't need to go into those part, which is like networking and all of those things. So you don't need to understand this, but if you have an interest, you can anyways do it. Yes. But it's not a data engineer job is to understand all the roles. Yeah. And even they also do, there are so many roles in Azure, so even admin people doesn't understand all of that, to be honest. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. So we are selecting this and we are selecting all of it, but if you want, you can just select this. That's not a problem. Let's go forward. And then networking is all the things are by default. I'm not changing anything. Tags, if you want, you can add it. And then let's go to review and create. And then we will create it. I am not creating it for now, like because I have a keyword which I want to use. I am just creating it for now, but I will use a different keyword which have a permission. Okay. Here I am creating a secret which I want to use. Yeah, so here I will use SQL password, and then I will use SQL pool 1234. And if you want to set activation date, expiry date, that you can do, which I am not doing right now. I am creating the secret. SQL password, this particular secret has been created. Now what I will do, I will go to my data factory. I will go to link service. I will because the integration runtime is by default, we know which integration runtime we need to use. We need to use auto resolve integration runtime. I am clicking over here, and then this integration runtime is by default selected by Azure, which is auto resolve integration runtime. So they haven't given the option here because this is their service and they know about this key vault. But in the backend, they are basically using this auto resolve integration runtime only. Now we are selecting the key vault which we have created, and then I will test the connection. Connection successful. I am creating the link service. Is this things are clear for you guys? So first we created a key vault. We created a secret in the key vault. We came here. We came over here. Then we created a link service directly. Yeah, so we selected a key vault. Then we basically selected all the option. We selected our key vault name, and then we created a link service for it.
So Abhishek, I have a question here.
Yes.
So we have created a secret for password, right?
Yes.
So let's say I'm going to create another secret for server name, for example.
Yes.
So in such cases, I need to create another link services for
No,
keyword.
no. Once you created a link service for a particular key vault, that same link service can be used to access all the secrets which you are storing in the key vault. And also in one key vault, you can store multiple secrets. So here, if you want, you can store, like you can create one more secrets over here. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
So so suppose if you want to store something else over here, now suppose here I have stored SQL password, right?
Yes.
If you say I want to store data lake access keys, if you want to store something else over here, same key vault can be used to store the password of other services or same service. That's not a problem.
Okay.
And generally it happens project wise. So suppose if you have one project wise, environment wise. So suppose if I have KPI dashboarding project, so for a development environment, all the keys of the development environment we will be storing in the dev key vault.
Okay.
And then for the test key vault, because in the test service your credential will also change, right?
Yes. Yes.
So but like your key vault name will also, when you do the deployment of all the services from a dev environment to test environment, You just change your password in the key vault, because that is the thing which you are using, right? And the key's name will be same. You just change the password in the key vault only, and then you can do the whole deployment. So yeah, so it is project wise and environment wise. We generally create the uh, per project. There will be three key vault, one for the dev, one for the test, and
Okay.
one for the prod.
For each environment. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Got it.
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, Abhishek, the key that you have created now, right? Is it encrypted? Will it be in an
Yeah,
encrypted format?
here you cannot see the key. So if I open this key, you won't be able to see it over here. It's encrypted. The person who has created the key will be only like able to understand this. No, he can only like understand what is being written over here. Yeah, it's encrypted basically, to just to answer your question.
Okay, because you have already opted the option before Azure encryption, right? Before creating the key. Because of that, it is getting encrypted, or like how? I just want to understand.
Where I have to like
There are
where,
three options, right? Before you create this key, there were three options, right?
where do you, so here when I was creating it.
No, after this page, clicking next.
Okay, so here if I when I created, you mean to say, right?
Yes, yes. You have enabled three options, right? Someone questioned you regarding that also.
And so that was a different thing. So that was managing your keys. That is not for encryption or anything of that sort.
Okay.
So it's just like way of like accessing your keys, not more than that.
Okay.
Okay. So I haven't selected anything with respect to encryption. That is the way of like who can access your keys, like which service can access your keys. That option is for that.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So you mean to say the three option which we were trying to understand and
Yes,
like,
yes.
okay, fine.
There we have found one encryption, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought like
No,
that
that is
would
not
be
for
applicable
encryption.
here. Okay.
No, that is not for encryption. Yeah. So yeah, what we have done, we created this. We basically tested the connection. We created a link service. Now what we will do, we create a link service using the key vault now. Okay. So I will use SQL database. I will click continue, and then I will select my server name, database name. 1 second. Server name, database name, username. I will choose key vault, and I will select my link service which I have created. I will select the secret, which will not load now. Yeah, so this is loading failed. And for that, we basically need to do one more option, which I will try to show, but I think I cannot show in my screen because this is not my subscription and I am a contributor. I have a contributor assigned to this particular role, so I cannot share the screen and then show you, but I will try to do something else which can basically answer your question. So like answer what I want to basically describe. So what we need to do, if this loading is failed, and it will be failed, and so this key vault which I have created, a key vault Azure key vault 1 has a permission already, then I am able to see all the keys over here, right? But this key vault basically will not give access to data factory to see the keys. Okay, so this key vault is not giving the access to data factory to see these keys. So for that, what we need to do, we need to basically go over here. We need to go to yes, any question, guys? We need to go to access policies, and yeah, so this is the keyword which I have created, right? So here we need to go to access policies, and I think I have a permission, so I will allow all of this. we are giving data factory to access all the keys which we have stored. Click next and select the principal. And here we will type our data factory name. Yeah, I think I cannot do it. That's the problem. So what we need to do, so here unable to access Microsoft Graph API, insufficient privilege to complete this operation. But ideally, this is what we need to do. We need to come to the key vault where like this key vault we need to come, and then we need to select the principal. We need to allow our data factory to access the keys which is stored in the key vault. Okay, but currently I don't have access, I don't have a privilege. But if you see this particular key vault, which basically we have used in the past, here you can see this ADF KPI dashboard dev environment has a permission to access all the secret. So if you created a key vault and then you want to give the permission, then you need to come to the key vault, and then you need to basically create a access policy over here in which you will give all the permission to that particular managed resource, which is data factory, to access all the secrets of this key vault. Okay, that is what you need to do. So yeah, so you will enable all of this, you will give the policy, and then you will give the permission, and after that this particular thing won't be loading failed. You will see like this. You will basically see all the secrets which is stored over here, which I am able to see. So here I will select this SQL password, and then I can test the connection. Yeah, so it's failed. I don't know why. Okay, so 1 second, probably I changed the password. So here, if I use this version, right? Okay, so probably in the class I was trying to show that if you update the password, so here somebody in the class just questioned me, right? If we update the password here, you can choose the latest version or you can do the past version as well. So when I was just describing the class, probably here I went like in the key this particular key vault which I've just created, and then I updated this, right? So I updated the password over here. I created a new version, and then I was trying to show that once you create a new version, it will be automatically failed. Why? Because I just updated the password, try to update not SQL pool 1234. I return SQL pool 12345, which is not a like my password. But you can go to the past version. You can just call that version as well if you want to. But generally, it is latest version, and whenever it is getting updated, it will be automatically updated over here as well, and then you can just call it. Okay, so the process is very simple. First we need to create the key vault, we need to create our secret, then we need to create our link service, then we need to basically give ADF access in the key vault to manage the keys, then we need to call the key. Okay, so I will try to write it.
Abhishek, is there any chance to share the document which you are typing in the notepad or something so that we will follow the steps we need to practice?
Sorry, I don't have the document to share with you, but what we can do together, or I can do for you, there will be a Microsoft documentation definitely to which you can follow. So you can just search Key Vault, and then yeah, there will be definitely a Microsoft documentation which I can share with you.
To be honest, I was tried in earlier before this when I'm creating the connection with the help of Databricks. connecting to the ELs. I created key vault and IAM role, but unfortunately, I'm not able to catch up. That is the reason I'm
In
checking.
Databricks, there is a separate process. In Databricks, you need to create secret scope, and
Yes,
through
I done.
and through JD. So suppose if you're you need to first create the secret scope to
Yes.
call the the SQL ID and key vault. Fetch the ID and password from the key vault, and then through JDBC connector or something like that, you can call it. Yeah.
No, where the JDBC comes here. I'm talking about the ADLs and Databricks, right?
Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
anyway, we'll
Sorry,
talk
sorry.
later.
I understood. I understood. So,
Yeah.
suppose if you are trying to access JDBC connector is being used when you try to access through SQL. But yeah, so yeah, through Databricks, you need to create secret scope for that. Yes.
I
But for now,
created
yes.
Databricks. Yeah, we'll talk later. That is not right now. This
Okay,
is
okay.
out of bound.
Yeah, okay, fine. And create a secret in the key vault, and then create a link service, for your SQL server, sorry, for your key vault. And then fourth is like give ADF permission to give ADF a permission in key vault to access your secrets. Then call your key vault and keys in the SQL link service. Same thing, suppose now somebody want to store the blob storage or data lake ID and password in the key vault instead of, so currently what we do, we generally over here. So I will discard this change. Suppose here, whenever I'm creating a data lake link service, right? So here we generally just like use subscription, use a storage account, and then we test connection. Now, if we want to integrate the key vault over here as well, that also can be done. So here I'm using blob storage, that is why it's showing the error. But yeah, suppose here if I use data lake, yeah, so suppose if somebody wants to store this blob storage password as well, then that also can be done. So here you can use key vault, and then you can pass the URL over here, and then basically you can store this data lake access keys as well in the key vault. That also can be done, which is kind of a homework for you guys. You can try to explore how it can be done, and then if you are not able to, I will try to help you with this in the next class. Now, till here everything is clear, or if you have any doubt, I can answer that question. Yeah. I will send this over here.
Abhishek, while I
Yes.
was practicing the initial class, I have a doubt, like
Okay,
while
no,
copying the file.
one second. If you have any question with respect to whatever we have learned with respect to key vault, you can ask, like, question me right now. If you have any doubt with respect to anything which you have tried, let's discuss it in the last of the class. That would be better, Siva. So because I want to
Yes,
teach
sir.
something else right now, I don't want to end till here. I want to teach one more topic, and then
Okay, okay.
probably we can discuss. Yeah. Okay, fine. So one more topic which I wanted to discuss with you guys is how to basically share a integration runtime. Let me open this. and I have all of this data factory, right? Now suppose if I created a integration runtime in one data factory, how I can use the same integration runtime in other data factory. So that is what we will learn. So first of all, let's understand why it is needed. Okay, why it is needed. Now suppose we have a server. Okay, we have a server. Suppose a company has a server. So company A has this server, and then what company A has done, they basically hired company B to migrate their data into the cloud. So what company B is doing, company B is migrating their data to the cloud. That company B is doing, okay. Now, because they are migrating the data like from on-premise server to the cloud, they basically set up a dev environment in which they can do the development, dev environment, okay. And then as we understood, they will install integration runtime in their server. So before installing it, company A asked company B that you guys are installing a software, is it secure, and all of those questions. So they are try to answer this question because this is a software which they are installing, right? So they are suspicious about it. They given the Microsoft documentation. They told that this is a standard process which we need to follow, and then basically they have given a permission to do that after this, right? So they install a software over here after giving all the permission, after they checked all the documentation, after they made sure that this application is secure enough to be installed in the server. Now they set up a connection of the ADF dev environment with this. Hello.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sorry guys. My voice is audible for you? No?
Yes,
Support.
Abhishek.
Okay, fine. Sorry, my internet. Yeah. My screen is loading. 1 second. Once you're able to see the screen, please let me know. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Now what they have done, they set up the this particular integration runtime in the server, and then ADF dev is able to interact with this integration runtime, and then basically they are pulling the data from the dev server, right? Sorry, from dev database. From dev database they are doing it. So this ADF dev can interact with this, and then basically they are pulling the data, right, to the cloud. Now they said that this pipeline is working and everything looks fine. Now they made a ADF test, for example, right? Now for ADF test, when they reached out to company A that, hey, can we install another integration runtime in your server so that ADF test can interact with that integration runtime? So they said that we don't want to install multiple software in our server. You use the same software which you have installed. Okay, you don't, we will not give you the permission. In such cases, there's a possibility which you can opt for to basically share your integration runtime among the ADF if you have created integration runtime in one of your ADF. Okay, so we will understand how it can be done. So suppose if I created integration runtime in one of my ADF, then how it can be shared to other ADF. That is what we will learn. So let's see the process of it. It's very simple. So suppose if I go here, I'm just checking if in which ADF I do have a self-hosted integration runtime installed. Yeah, suppose this is the integration runtime which is running in RG ADF KPI 1. And we can also understand this integration runtime is being installed in one of my student's computer. And this integration runtime is running. Why? Because she probably has a open laptop and it has an active internet connection. Okay. Now, if I want to share this integration runtime in other data factory, so what we can do, we need to come here and then we need to grant the permission. And this permission I cannot give. Why? Because I am not the creator of this ADF. So she needs to do it. But ideally, if you have created a 2 ADF and then basically you want to share the permission, you can come here, you can click on grant permission to another data factory or user defined manage identity. So here we will click this, we will select the ADF in which we want to share this integration runtime. Okay. So suppose I want to share this integration runtime in this ADF. So here you can see, right, we have a permission ADF KPI dashboard dev. So here you just need to grant the permission to that ADF. Okay. After you do that, then you copy this particular resource ID, you come over here and then you create a integration runtime. You come here, you create an integration runtime, you click here, you click on self-hosted integration runtime, you click continue, you select the self-hosted integration runtime, you click continue. No, sorry. You click on linked self-hosted integration runtime, then you click continue. You paste your resource ID here. And suppose here you give the integration runtime name and then you hit create. Then this integration runtime is running in my ADF as well. So the process is very simple. You need to go to the other integration runtime, give ADF permission to be shared, and then you come here and then basically create the integration runtime by using this option. Okay, by using linked self-hosted option, and then you paste the resource ID and then create an integration runtime. Any questions on this one, guys?
No, sure, it's clear.
Okay, all clear. And what I suggest to everyone, so suppose whenever you are going through the recording and you are trying to practice it, try to make small notes, and that will be helpful for you while revising. Okay, so while you are like suppose if you are going for an interview and then in the interview, like suppose after 20 to 25 classes, because I have done it multiple time, I remember everything, right, how to do everything, because I'm doing it on a day-to-day basis. But for you guys, when you're doing it for first time, try to create notes, and those notes will basically helpful for you. Try to write it in your own words, and that will be helpful for you when, like suppose if I just say to revise all the classes, so you cannot basically watch all the 20 recording and try to revise it, right? So better to create some small notes, write the things in brief which can help you to revise in the past. Okay, so because you cannot go to the recording every time whenever you revise. Okay, so try to create notes, and it will be beneficial when you create now, and then try to refer those notes as and when it is necessary. Okay.
And Abhishek, can you share your PPT which you're using to teach
That I
us?
have already shared, I guess, right? So I shared um, a particular link with you. 1 second. I think I have shared, but let
In
me
that
share.
CSV files were there.
No. I shared one link. Um, 1 second. In the group description, you will find that link.
Abhishek, it would be great if you can share back again so that it will be easy
In the group
for me
description,
and
it's already there.
I,
So just click the group description. So if I click go here, if you come here, then if I come to this, if I open this link, then if you open this, now let me tell you what are the things here. So if you open this sample file, you will get all the sample file which I am using during the class. If you open this, you will get the PPT which I used during the class. If you open learning material, and if you open data engineering specifically, then you will get handwritten notes, many handwritten notes you will get here. And now suppose if you open Databricks, you will get multiple Databricks given slides as well here. Now if you open certification, you will get handwritten notes of DP 203, 900, other things here. Now if you so this is just like, beside this, if you want to learn Python, SQL, suppose if I open SQL, then these are the different notes for the SQL as well. And then if you open interview questions, now if I want to open data engineering interview questions, you will get all the data engineering interview questions as well here. So this slide I update it based on, like, I guess I have already added you to this group. If I haven't, I will add you now. So in this group I share all the materials which I also upload there, and which it is very good material to basically follow it through, understand what has been asked. And also I share the job openings here. So yeah, so if I haven't added you, I probably add you over here. And those things I maintain over here as well, which will be helpful for you guys. So few of them I created by me, few of them I get it from various source, which I try to update and give you guys. Yes.
Thank you, Abhishek.
But whatever I am sharing, it won't be like, it is very helpful, but just to revise the class, I'm suggesting to basically make some notes which will be helpful for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so guys, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me now, or else I think that's all for today. And I think anyways it's
Abhishek,
late in here.
Abhishek, I have one concern. Right now, you are showing is an UI, right? We are watching, we are doing a practice as per the UI portal, right? That Azure portal, right?
Yes.
So, and the development scenario, the deployment scenario, we are using any IDEs, Visual Studio or PyCharm
No,
or whatever.
no, no,
No.
no. In the
In
development as well, we only use this Azure portal itself for any sort of development, be it in Databricks, be it in Data Factory. In Databricks, we try to integrate with VS Code as well, but you cannot basically run the code due to some company policy. It's like in my personal organization, it's not allowed to integrate VS Code with Databricks and run your notebooks. So I do all the development in the portal and like things provided by Azure. So we don't use any PowerShell or any particular ID to do any sort of jobs. Yes.
Okay, in normally in the organizations, any organization as a engineer in Azure data engineer, basically you saying that UI portal using, and from there only the development and deployment everything will be done. Am I right?
Deployment, I don't know about deployment because I don't do the deployment. It is basically done by the DevOps engineer who does the
Okay.
deployment. So I am not like the I'm not the guy who does the deployment. So they basically do it, make the CI/CD pipeline using DevOps, make the
Mhm.
release, make the build, and all of that. And then basically, if they are using it, like for creation of all the resources, making a build, they probably use the PowerShell command and all of those things, which I am not aware about, and I don't want to know about it as well at the same time. So
Mm.
but yeah, so as a data engineer, you won't be using it, and I haven't used it in my whole like 7 to 8 years of career. Like I have used it PowerShell here and there just to create some resources whenever I want to create suppose 10 resources at the same time. Then I might use the PowerShell command, which is easy to write some command, but 99% of the time you will be using the portal itself for any sort of development.
Thank you.
Any other question, guys?
I have a small question.
Yes. Yeah.
Once again, let me share you one pic in the chat. I mean, in the WhatsApp, so that everyone can know. Once again, I'm sharing it.
You are sharing in the chat or you're sharing the screen?
I'm sharing in the chat.
Mm.
Option. We you can go to the chart now.
Yeah, I can see the chat.
Yeah,
Yes.
so maybe you can see, right? I mean, you will be charged a number of used DUI copy during, right? I mean, this is the message or information which I'm getting when when I loading few of the files from data like Gentive to a SQL Server, right? In the settings, I can see this one. So I'm just exploring the different options which are available in settings. So when I redirect to the settings panel, I see this one. So what exactly? I mean, do they charge to use this integration unit here, or how option?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm going to that particular option.
Yeah,
So you're using free trial right now?
yeah, free title.
So 1 second, I'm sharing my screen again.
Sure.
Maximum integration runtime, and you change something here? No, you haven't changed it.
No, no. When I'm pointing to the SQL Server, check. Maybe sync.
Let me point to SQL Server.
Yeah, this one. So can't we use this? I mean, I'm not exactly going to the each detail, but when I redirect here, just looking at the tolerance, right?
No. So you won't be charged because
No.
here they have written as well, right? Local currency and separate discounting may be applied as per your subscription type.
Yeah.
And till now, I don't know how many times I have like basically I have done it multiple times in which
Yes.
I try to copy the data to the SQL Server.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
till now, like from 2 years, nobody said that it is being charged. So probably,
Okay.
so I'm 99.99% sure that it won't charge you the money. So you can go
Okay.
ahead. Yes.
Okay. Got option.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
And also just to let you know, guys, that this particular integration, so suppose currently maximum it's auto, but suppose if you want higher performance, we can increase this integration runtime, degree of parallelism, all of that can be increased for just the higher performance. Yeah, so this option can be played around, which I will teach going forward because I don't want to go into those details just to confuse you right now. So yeah, but if you want to get more of a copy of performance, then this option will be used, but not like just not worry about those details for now. Just set it auto. Any other question? Siva, you were sharing something. Now I am done. So probably, yeah, if you have no any general question, you can ask me now. Siva, you were asking something before, right?
Yeah, Abhishek. So
Yes.
I was trying to create a link service for the file system copy to the
Hmm.
data like Gentoo.
Hmm. And you are
And
not able to create.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
can I share my screen or?
Yeah, you can share the screen. Yes. But like I will try to resolve it, but I think I cannot resolve it because it's like work different with the different computer. So, but I will try to just see what error you're getting. So
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
so
Just
here,
wanted to
yeah,
understand.
so yeah, here you given the host name, you given the username, you given the password. Now what's the error?
The test connection is getting failed.
Yeah, what's the error?
Not allowed. Do we need to share this path or something?
Yeah, 1 second. Can you give me the control? Can you try to
I,
write this in this same manner? How is it's been written here? Like not with the forward, like the your slash is different right over here. No, you have written the same manner. 1 second.
it looks like a shared folder. Like, do we need to share the, for example, can I access?
1 second, 1 second. Yeah, yeah, tell me.
Cool.
So, Shiva, you are very sure that your ID and password is correct, right?
Yeah, ID and password was correct. Earlier it was test connection successful. I gave my computer name instead of path.
Okay, so the problem is here the way you pass this, right? It's basically like this can it should be corrected, I feel. 1 second. You tried with let me,
I got an idea, but yeah.
yeah, can you type your password? Yeah, what idea you got? This file server link service like works due because it's related to the like computer, right? So sometimes um, it works different with the different computer. That's the problem. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so now copy this once. Yeah. So now copy this path. Yes, now copy this path.
Because it's showing here example with a shared path.
Hmm. 1 second. Test your connection. Test your connection. No.
So, Shiva, maybe you can try instead of OneDrive, right? So maybe you can try from your other drives,
Hmm.
local drive.
One
That
So
second.
will.
is it in OneDrive? Okay.
Can you try this Zoom?
By default, it's showing OneDrive. Maybe can you please go to the C drive?
Can you go do this Zoom thing once, or like you can try?
Maybe go to the other drives even. Yeah.
You try to share like that step you need to follow. I guess you have shared. Yeah. So try to do the same thing which you have done before. Yeah. Copy this path. Yeah. No. Copy this path.
Okay.
Yes. Did you click? Okay. Yeah.
For example, if
Mm.
I give my computer name Shiva, sometimes I think it was test successful.
Previously, what you were giving as a host name? Okay, no, it will not work.
Been in Bangkok for almost 5 years.
अभिषेक
Yes, yeah,
मैं लीव कर दूं क्या
yes. The
वो
person
शेयर
who
करना था
yes, I will share the recording with the people. Other, if you don't have any doubt, you can leave the call. Yeah, that is okay. We'll
ओके
meet in the next class.
वो सुदेशना को शेयर करना था उसका
Yes.
एक्सेस माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एजूर
Yeah.
ठीक है
Oh,
कनेक्ट कर
okay. 1 second, Sudeshna. Like you. So, yeah. Let's share the subscription. Yeah. Let's share the subscription. Shiva. Let's wait for some time. This is a known issue. Sometimes the thing which the issue, the way you shared the folder, it works, and then after that you're getting some IP related issue as well, right? So the way you protected your computer, it works different with the different laptops. So I will try to show this step in my laptop, but the problem is if I show in my laptop, probably it doesn't work with your laptop. Okay, but I will still try to show you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. So now share the screen, Narayan, and then we'll follow the step. And the others, if you don't have any doubt, you can leave the call. Yeah, we'll meet in the next class. Thank you so much. Narayan, please share your screen. And Sudeshna, please share your email ID in the chat.
Yeah.
ईमेल आईडी कहाँ है
1 second, I'm sharing. Yeah, I will stop the recording.
ओके